was in this darkness, and this hand came down out from above, and it was a beautiful old person's hand, kind of wrinkly, but it was huge. But this hand just come up underneath and put me in its palm, and then just said, trust in me and everything will be all right.
Got a text from Denny Thompson this morning and said, Trapper, have you ever gone back and talked to somebody that you interviewed years before just to find out what's happened since? And I answered back and I said, I've thought about it. I haven't really pursued it to any great extent, but why, you got something? And I'm waiting to hear back from him. But it made me go back, what is it, a dozen years now? My old podcast, Blind Faith Live, and listening to Denny Thompson. I'm telling you, of the hundreds of interviews I've done, Denny's top 5. Not only did his experience just completely change who he was. I mean, he was this biker guy, skirt chasing, drinking, and then this thing happens, and then he's in a coma for 3 months. But God came to him while he was in the coma, and something happened within the coma. And when he comes out, with everything he finds out, he should just be devastated and depressed, and he's not. And he explains why. When you listen to this, I'm not going to tell you any more than that. I just want it, as I listened again after all these years, I just want it to unfold for you, kind of like a flower blooms. I just want it to unfold for you and just ride this journey with Denny and just see where he goes, and to realize that, maybe nothing in this life really matters, except... Here's Denny.
Kind of like I was standing there and I went into this cave, or I was in this cave, and it had like a red glow to it, I would say. And there was a chair there, kind of almost like a kitchen table chair, except it had arms on it.
Denny Thompson talking about an experience he had about 14 years ago at the age of 38.
And I sit in this chair, and as soon as I sat in it, was like... I felt like I was held into the chair. I was like, you're in the chair. You can't get out of the chair now. And there was somebody sitting to the side of me. I don't remember the questions or my answers. I was just know that I was talking to this person, and he was asking me questions. Looked around, and I do remember there was these shadows or black blobs or something. All of a sudden, from this chair, I was in a place that was awesome. To me, it was a woods and beautiful trees and all. And there was a person there. To me, it was like a Tinkerbell. And it was a joyful person, and we were playing in the woods, chasing each other around the woods, almost like playing tag, just pure fun, childlike. And it did not last very long, it was way too short.
Then, just as quickly...
But I was in this darkness, and this hand came down out from above, and it was a beautiful old person's hand, kind of wrinkly, but it was huge. But this hand just come up underneath and put me in its palm, and then just said, trust in me and everything will be all right. I remember thinking, oh, okay. I don't understand what that means, but okay. Then as soon as that happened, then I was in the hospital with my dad.
Denny Thompson's about to wake up from a coma he has been in for 3 months.
So my mind was still contemplating what was that all about? For me, I had not been hurt. It just was me, selfish, bike riding, bar hopping, girl chasing, Dennis, mechanic, fixing stuff. And to me, at that time, that's what I still was. I was this whole person that had not been hurt When I woke up, I had just had this happen to me, and Dad was there, and I'm like, Dad, well, what are you doing here, Dad? I was still with the hand or with the dark place. Let's turn on some lights, so we can talk. I'm sorry, but they're already on, Denny. I said, the lights are on, and it's daytime, and sun shining, and I'm like, what? What's going on? He said, well, you've been in an accident.
Denny Thompson was waking up from a 3-month coma, motorcycle accident, lost a lot of blood. In fact, they kept putting blood in, over 150 pints over the first couple of weeks to finally stabilize him. But then no brain activity. He was vegetative, and they told the family, this is it. And the family agreed to let him go. And Mom said, no, let's let this play out. And so they let it play out. And so what you're hearing here is about a month after that conversation as Denny is waking up.
And he said, you've been hurt real bad. And I have.
So that's the first shock, is that, wait a minute, why can't I see? Am I blind? Am I not blind? Is this temporary? Is this all the time? You've got to be going through all of that.
Yes. I'm like, what is going on here, And they did not know. Nobody knew anything. Like, they did not know I was going to be blind, or when you wake up, it is what it is, Well, let's see what the trauma has done to this body,
What's the next shock?
I said, what happened? And he said, well, you were in an accident, and he said, you've lost your leg and your arm. And I'm like, what? No. So I start feeling around. I'm like, oh my God, there's no leg. Where's my leg and where's my arm,
Which side's gone?
It's the right side. Both leg. And the leg is taken off clean to the hip joint. The arm is off. There's about maybe 4 inches of down from the shoulder, which they left that on, and they put a metal rod in there to kind of give it some shape.
3 months in the coma, and now it would be another 5 months of rehab and trying to adjust his life to being a blind, one-armed, one-legged, formerly 175-pound, 5'10" man, dealing with. And if you put yourself, you and I, we put ourselves in that situation, what would you be going through? What was Denny going through?
It was amazing to me because I took it pretty well. I mean, somewhere in my heart, it wasn't devastating. It wasn't one of those just like crippling. It turned into a situation like, okay, here we are. Here's what's going on. What do we got to do to carry on, to keep moving on? In my mind, I was not going to be bedridden. The nurses or the therapists at the rehab center, well, let's get you sitting up. Painful. Let's get you sitting on the edge of the bed. Very, very painful. Okay, let's put you in a wheelchair. Very painful. It started very slowly like that. And my mind was, okay, this hurts like, if you have a 10, my pain was at a 20. Just always.
As you look back at that hand, any doubt about whose hand that was?
Oh, that was the Lord. It was God or Jesus Christ. Jesus is our Savior, our Lord, the way, the truth, the life. And I know it was when it wrapped around me, it was all, everything went away, and it just was peaceful, and it was just like, okay, when you totally give yourself, if you get into to a point and you just go, whatever. Everything is just whatever. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters, except this peace and this place where I was is all that matters. All the here and now, the pain, after I woke up, the pain, the anger. They're like, you need, when I woke up, they're like, we're going to give you Zoloft, antidepressant. I'm like, why? I don't need that. I'm fine. For me, it was like, okay, it just doesn't matter. All this, it just doesn't matter. And I was not religious, and I'm blind. I'm one-legged, one-armed. I hurt every day. All my joints hurt. My body doesn't function properly most of the time. And you know what? It just doesn't matter, because there's a place that I will end up, that now that I've learned that my body will become whole, or I will be given a new body. Home, that's all you can say is where I was is what would be considered like home.
Coming up, more with Denny Thompson. Isn't this great? I'm loving this episode all over again. It's been dozen years, something like that. Anyway, so hang on. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Quick Patreon shout out. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron Copeland. Thanks, Aaron, for making this all go week to week. Appreciate you being part of the family, and that's what it does feel like. If you like to do the same, join the family, come here to this episode, 425 at touchedbyheaven.net, and just click your way through, or go to patreon.com and search for Trapper Jack. Thank you so much. And what else? Oh, I got to say, we're starting to wind down. If you're thinking about going to Medjugorje, this would be a good time to make a decision. We're entering that phase where, just saying, go to PadrePioPilgrimages.com/TrapperJack. There's a link right here in the show notes, and just make your way there. And if there's anything else you want to find out about it, you've got Michael to help you. Michael Campanelli, who is Padre Pio Pilgrimages and Conversion Story in Medjugorje. It's great. So click the link and find out more. We're going to be there October 10th through the 18th, staying with Milka. She's the sister of Maria, who gets the daily apparitions. We'll just be down the street. Might just go visit. Might just go knock on that door. You know what I'm saying? So find out more here by clicking the link, and we look forward to it. I don't know if you're paying attention to the novena. They just prayed 9-day novena up on Apparition Hill with Maria. The big message from Mary was back to peace again. She is the Queen of Peace, and talking about praying for peace within ourselves, within our families. Don't wait for the world to settle down. Just join in the prayer. Our Lady, once again, also reminding us of the power of prayer and fasting. Boy, is that biblical. There are just some things that only work by prayer and fasting. We generally think of that as food. You might want to take that all the way to, bread and water on a day or two of the week. But for some, it might be fasting from technology, fasting from yourself, fasting from those knee-jerk reactions that we have during the course of a day. Whatever it is, whatever that fasting is that we're called to do, prayer and fasting. And remembering what Denny said, it just doesn't matter. None of this matters. Everything around us that tries to seduce us, none of this matters. There's only one thing that matters. There's only someone that matters. And once we get that, everything else falls into place. And click the link, and I'd love to be with you in October in Medjugorje, this bridge between heaven and earth. All right, let's get back to Denny here on Touched by Heaven, Everyday Encounters with God.
And you know what? It just doesn't matter.
You were motorcycle riding, bar hopping, skirt chasing Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Was that literally a come to Jesus moment where you understood it was all real, and therefore when you came out of this, the anger wasn't there like it was supposed to be, the depression wasn't there like it was supposed to be? Did you have a come to Jesus moment in that real mind-altering way?
Yeah, and I think I believed in Jesus and God and the Trinity, but I did not follow it. When I was young, about 10 years old, my brother and I, my twin brother, were playing in a tree. And we were playing kind of rough, and he fell out of the tree, and his arm got caught on a branch. And it, up by his armpit, it hooked onto his arm, and it ripped the skin all the way around, almost pulled all his arm off. And he was hanging there in the tree, and we picked him out of the tree, took him to the hospital, and he came out of the hospital, of course, 10 years old, very angry at me. And me and him were inseparable twins, buddies. And he came out of the hospital, and he was so angry at me. And I was so angry at myself because I thought it was my fault. And I think at that point, I said, my life changed and said, well, God, this sucks. And this is not, I don't know what happened, but I hate you. Or I don't like you anymore. You don't make sense to me. If this is life, then I am going to go out and, I'm just going to, whatever. Life is life. There is no what you're taught in church, as a child. Love people and patience and tolerance and all that. And, at that point, I think looking back, studying my life, because we have choices, you're there. You make your choice as a human to either love God or turn away and say, screw you. I am on my own. I am me. I'm my own. Go away and leave me alone. And I did that. Of course, I started smoking at 11 and started doing pot at 12 and drinking and,
a lot of people have, and I've witnessed this, I've seen a lot of people have a come to Jesus moment where Jesus showed himself, his love, and all of that. And still, there's the seduction of this world. And,
there is, yes.
And you see them just not mentally being able to stay in what God just showed them. He just showed them something dramatic. That everything that I said while I was on this earth, how you put God first and you treat everyone like you want to be treated, you do those things and you're home free. And for whatever the reason, even despite that come to Jesus incredible sign and moment, they still go, and they go back to the other.
Right.
You didn't.
My mind strays sometimes for a while. Do I enjoy things? I have my motorcycle. We rebuilt it, and do I? I don't. I like it. I enjoy it, but I don't worship the motorcycle. I don't worship the car or the house or And I think that may be the difference is when we are here, we worship the things that we have, in a way, it's like, oh, look at this leather jacket I got, man. It is like the baddest thing in the world. I love that. And if you touch my jacket, I will rip your head off. That's worshiping your jacket, right? Why would you, I did it. People do that instead of going, you know what? It's just a stupid jacket. It doesn't matter. Can I see your jacket? Heck yeah. Here's my jacket. Look at it. You cold? You want to wear it? Go ahead.
Yes. Denny still has his motorcycle, only now it has 3 wheels. And want to take him for a ride?
Yeah. Let's go for a ride.
Those things don't own you like,
they don't.
He's talking about like phones can own people. People,
oh my God,
you know what I'm saying? The phone can, I fall victim to it too, where it's like, you have it set up so it makes sounds, It's like, ooh, somebody said something to me on Facebook. Oh, wait a minute, someone just sent me this. Oh, wait, and it can own you.
I watched a show on TV and they had taken these 5 20-year-olds and they took their phone. They said, we're going to take your phones away for like 2 weeks. One of them, literally, she said there was moments in the day where she would curl up in the fetal position underneath her desk, crying because she didn't have her phone. When I get on my motorcycle, part of it is my God time. I can ride down the road, hear the noise, be in my God zone without distractions. And
You know, we've had 2 conversations now, and we've talked during those conversations, I don't know, well over an hour, hour and a half, whatever. The one thing that comes through, you cannot see a thing. You are missing one side. You don't have an arm. You don't have a leg. I have yet to hear you complain about anything.
Well, there's just not much to complain about. I am blessed. Now that I know, it's grace that saved me. It's grace that keeps me. And what's in your heart is spread. But I do know that I meet people on my bike that are biker people. I want what you got. That's what usually people, when they're in a bad, angry, hateful place, they're like, I want what you got. I'm like, you can have it, man. No problem, man. All you got to do is believe in this man called Jesus Christ, that he's our Savior, and trust in him, And you don't even have to know his words. Just know that he's there. He did this for us.
When you felt that hand holding you and your heart connected to his heart, describe that feeling.
Oh, my God. It's hard to describe because everything goes away except this just, everything just fades away and there's just nothing. You don't say, oh my God, I forgot, what about this? I need to make my truck payment, or, you just don't think about it. It's just a place where it's just, everything just goes away and nothing really matters except the moment that you're in there with him. I just know that I am here because he wants me here, and he will work through me no matter what I do. Everything I do, he's kind of working.
Among the many blessings for Denny Thompson is his wife, Sandy. She married him after the accident. She worked in the prosthetic shop.
She was working in the office. There were several girls in there. And I'm still a flirt. One day she said, hey, I got a new car. Well, you need to give me a ride in your car, She was not interested in me at all, really. If you give me a ride in your car, I'll take you for ice cream. I'll take you to Dairy Queen and buy you some ice cream. And one day she called and showed up at my condo and said, let's go for a ride, and we did and started talking and started caring about her, and she started caring about me,
New car and Dairy Queen, and off you go?
Yeah.
It's all a blessing to you. You are giving all of us a better understanding of who God is and the love he has for us and everything. Your insight is absolutely beautiful. You're giving us insight because you're living it. I mean, you really are living it. You have been tested by it.
Even though we are in the Spirit and I do trust the Lord, I know that I still have a choice to walk away. And you have to be vigilant and love the Lord and learn, and because you can still get drawn away, even though the Spirit's in you and you do these things, you can get complacent.
Yeah, it's always a choice, isn't it? It's always a choice.
It's always a choice. And if you walk away from the Lord, once you've learned the truth, then it's...
You don't. That's why I say you can't unlearn things. You beat all odds. You should have died. You should have been a vegetable. You should have stayed in the coma. You should all those shouldas, and here you are, and you are serving the Lord, and he is so happy with you. We will stay in touch, buddy.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like that a lot.
And we have. We've been texting throughout the years, but also I know we had at least 1 or 2 conversations, and I don't remember if they were in episodes or just he and I talking years ago, because he was going hunting every year, too. He'd go deer hunting. He'd have friends help him out, line up the shot. He would take the shot and take home a deer. He's just never stopped. He's just never stopped, as this episode shows. And the love in this guy, and he's got his eyes on home. He's got his eyes on home. Gotcha.
You did.
I got you, Denny. You know, I'm about ready to post this thing, and I was hoping to hear your voice again. Been a while.
There I is.
Well, I'm rerunning your episode when you texted me and said, you know, do you ever get back to the people and how their lives have changed since? And I thought, well, not on a regular basis, so to speak, but it made me think of you. And then I listened to your episode again, as we all are, and you're just amazing. Are you still amazing, Denny? Are you still amazing?
I'd like to think so. Yes, sir.
So what's changed? Is that anything changed? You were still working at the same place. What about Sandy?
I'm still working there.
Does she still like ice cream?
Yes, we both do. We do like our ice cream.
So we just did the one episode, but I remember having a conversation with you about you going deer hunting. That's kind of it was an annual event, still is?
It still is. I'm still deer hunting, and
man, those deer are running, man. They're running from you.
Running into me, hopefully.
So you still have friends kind of setting you up, and then
yeah, we got it's the Mid-America Special Sportsman, Missouri. I also switched. It was getting too easy to use a rifle, so I started using a pistol. Because rifles are just so doggone easy to.
I mean, do you have a holster, and then the deer is given a holster too, and a gun? Just kind of like, is it kind of like a duel?
I mean, my rifle, I can shoot them clean out to 300 yards or whatever.
Wow.
Pistols are generally 100 yards. So you got to have a little more patience to let the deer come in closer. And pistols are very twitchy. It's hard to hit a bullseye at 100 yards.
When was the last time you listened to your episode, which, by the way, was number 64? When was the of the old Blind Faith Live series?
Probably back in when we did it.
You don't think you listened to it since? Because I think that was 2014, maybe 20.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. 14. So we're talking about a dozen years ago. What struck me just listening to it again is just that overall, it just doesn't matter. Nothing matters. He's the only one that matters. And if you've got that, everything else falls into place.
And it is still absolutely that way. I don't let stuff bother me. I mean, I know my Jesus has got it. And the troubles that we go through, the issues, the things, he sees all that. And I believe at some point, Jesus is still the same Jesus as 2,000 years ago. He heals. He takes care of us. He feels for us. He understands, but he heals. And, that is what he did. Yeah. And, I believe part of our job is to search for that fullness. That's what I call it, fullness of Jesus, and not generally in religion or just a relationship between him and I and the Father and I and the Spirit that's in me and him. And because, he said, I am in you and you are in me, and I'm in the Father and he's in me and we are in you, and all that. So, Amen. And I believe that 100%.
Well, it's amazing. Your episode just really touched me, and I thought, I've got to put you on this podcast, Touched by Heaven podcast, because it fits right in. It just fits right in with your experience with the hand of the Lord and just where it took you, because you should have come out of it so angry and so ticked and so depressed, and you just never were.
No, and I'm still I'm not. I'm probably pretty easygoing guy. Got lots of friends and lots of people that I talk with, and.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just wanted to make a quick call to make sure all is well. You're still liking ice cream. You're still with Sandy. You're still out there hunting.
Yep, still riding Harleys.
Oh, do you still have the three-wheeler?
Yes. I got the same one, plus we got a nice one.
A nice one.
Mine is a hot rod. It's like really hot rodded out, 150 horsepower. And it's basically just hot rod.
Okay.
And
the
then
other
we
one?
bought a Tri-Glide. Tri-Glide is like the fancy with the hard bags and the fairing on the front and all the. But yeah, we put like 35,000 miles on this Tri-Glide, and I still ride the old hot rod. I got a couple friends that'll come over and say, "Hey, you want to go for a ride?" And we'll take her out for dinner. 20, 30 miles or whatever.
They ever let you steer?
I went to a thing at a motorcycle shop, and they had you ever hear of a hot dog eating contest?
Sure.
Well, it hangs off a string, and it's
you're
covered
supposed to
with
catch
mustard.
it in your mouth?
Yeah, it's covered with mustard, and when you drive underneath it, well, they had a hot dog eating contest, and they kept saying, "Dennis, we should enter the hot dog eating contest." And well, one of our girlfriends, said, "I'll ride on the back. You can run the clutch and all that, and I'll run the gas and steer it, or I'll tell you how to steer it, and then we'll go underneath the hot dog, and we'll see if we can get that hot dog, And by golly, we got it. We went under it and got that stupid hot dog, and we were the only ones that got it.
And the blind guy gets
got to
it.
reach up there, and the girl has to reach up there and grab that hot dog, and of course it's swinging and all that kind of. So it's not just sitting there on a stick. It's like,
yeah. Well, gosh,
challenge.
Denny, you've made us all so hungry. I'm going to let you go, buddy. I love you. I'm so glad we got in touch again, and just thank you for being you. You're something.
Oh man, I love you a bunch. I listen to you every week, Trapper, and I just pray that it keeps going as strong and as hard and touches people as much as possible.
God bless you. I got to run, but thank you so much.
All right, Trap.
All right. God bless. Bye now.
Bye.
There you go. So thank you so much, Denny. What's your story? Sure, it may not be quite like this one, but there are so many flavors of stories out there, and you've had something: angel encounter, divine intervention, prophetic dream, vision, near-death experience, big and little, God incidents, whatever it is. Get a hold of me here at touchedbyheaven.net. Thank you for that. Thanks for the help through Patreon. You can come here to episode 425 and just click your way through to Patreon. Thanks for the help. If you're thinking about going to Medjugorje, this would be a good time to make a decision. Go to PadrePilgrimages.com/TrapperJack. There's a link right here in the show notes here on Touched by Heaven. Everyday encounters with God. I'm Trapper Jack. And Denny, where are we going next, buddy?
If you give me a ride in your car, I'll take you for ice cream.